Hello everyone. We hope you enjoyed the last video on the introduction to JavaScript. If you missed it, I have put the link in the description. Today, we'll set up a powerful code editor called Visual Studio Code, or VS Code, which makes coding easier and helps with debugging code. In this tutorial, we'll also learn how to create a new basic JavaScript project and run some code. This is an essential step to help you get started with the upcoming tutorials effectively. Please don't miss this and enjoy the video. To begin, open up the browser and type VS Code in the search bar, then hit enter. You can either click on the first link to visit the main page or simply go to the download section. For now, I'll click on the download link on the search results page. We're going to download it for Windows by clicking on the first button. If you're on Linux, choose the second button, and for Mac, choose the third button. Ensure you have a supported version of Windows, either Windows 10 or 11. It may not be available for lower versions of Windows. I'm downloading it for my Windows 10 operating system. The download has started, as we can see in the progress section at the top right. The file is 94.3 megabytes, let's wait for it to complete the download. After the download completes, click on the folder icon, and here is our downloaded file. Double-click on it and carefully read and accept the agreement, then click Next. It's displaying the default location where VS Code is going to be installed on our computer. Click Next. Again, simply click Next. Now let's check the Create a Desktop icon checkbox to add a shortcut for VS Code on the desktop for easy access. If you wish, you can also check the Open with Code checkboxes for the context menu, enabling you to open the file in VS Code directly, simply by right-clicking and choosing VS Code. After the customization, click Next. Now we're on the final step, to confirm the settings we chose. If you're sure, click Install. The installation has started, wait until it is complete. Keep the default checkbox checked and click Finish. Now VS Code is launched. You can choose the preferred theme you like or simply continue with the default. Let's close the welcome page. Our main journey starts here. Click on the extensions icon and search for Live Server and click Install. It's useful to see instant results on the web page as we make any changes and saving our time from manually refreshing and launching the project. Now it has been installed. Choose any desired location you prefer. But for now, let's visit the desktop and create a project folder named JavaScript. Visit Visual Studio Code, click on the File option at the top left, then click on the Open folder, click on the desktop, select our project folder, JavaScript, and click the Select Folder button to open it in VS Code. Click the file icon right next to the project folder name and create an index.html file. Now in the editor, type an exclamation mark and press the Tab button to generate the basic boilerplate code to save time. I assume you're familiar with the basic concept of HTML, which is essential for understanding the upcoming discussion on JavaScript, but it's not compulsory, you can continue watching. Let's set the title of the web page as JavaScript inside the title tags. Now, in the body section, let's add a script tag where we'll write our JavaScript code. We're ready to write our first JavaScript statement. Let's print a simple message in the console. The console is very useful for debugging and solving issues or testing code. Don't worry, we'll see the console right away. We use the console.log method to pass something to the console. If we wish to print some text, which is known as a string in programming, we need to wrap it with quotes, either double or single. Alternatively, you can use backticks. We're ready for the very first command. Let's write console.log and within the brackets known as parentheses, write hello world within double quotes and terminate the statement with a semicolon, which is important to remember, otherwise, our program won't work. It's time to call the live server, which you can find at the bottom right of the screen in VS Code. Click on the Go Live button. Our page has loaded on our default browser, Chrome. If you wish to place the browser window right next to the code editor, you can drag it to the right edge of the code editor and drop it. Like this, you can also adjust the size as you like. You might be wondering why the page is still blank. It's because we haven't added anything to the UI of our web page. Now right-click on the page, find Inspect, and click on it. Congratulations, our Hello World message was successfully printed in the console. If we wish, we can even print the message directly from the console by writing the same statement again. But if you try pasting the code, your browser may block it for security reasons. We can also clear the console by clicking the clear icon or pressing Ctrl+L. Let's explore some basics further. We can perform various things in the console. For now, let's do some mathematical calculations. If we want to add numbers, then type console.log, and inside the parentheses, type 5 plus 5, terminate the statement with a semicolon, and hit Enter. Now we have the result of the sum of the given numbers, 10. Similarly, we can perform various operations, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and more. That's much for now about the console. Let's close it. In our source code, let's make the previous statement inactive using double forward slashes. The shortcut is to click on the line you want to make inactive and press Ctrl+/. Now we can see it turned into a green color with leading 2 forward slashes, making our code inactive. It's useful if we wish to reuse our code in the future or try alternative approaches. Now we understand about the console. There are also many methods in JavaScript for many purposes. Let's explore the alert and prompt as well. Using an alert, we can display a pop-up in our browser. To use it, type the alert and the message as we want inside the parentheses enclosed with double quotes and terminate with the semicolon, then press Ctrl+S to save the code, and soon we see the pop-up with the message we passed. Click on the OK button, and the pop-up goes away. Using alert, we can also perform mathematical operations like we did in the console. Let's add 2 numbers, type alert and 5 + 5 inside the parentheses, and terminate with a semicolon. But don't enclose the expression with quotes because JavaScript will consider it as a string and simply display without performing any operation. Let's take the last example with division, type alert, and within the parentheses, type 20 divided by 2 and terminate with the semicolon, save the changes, and 10 is the result. Now, let's try the prompt method, which is useful for getting user input through a prompt dialog box. Simply type the prompt and within the parentheses, type the message that you want the user to read. We're providing a prompt with the message, JavaScript is fun. Now it's the user's turn to respond to it with their views. Let's type something, say yes, and click OK, and the prompt box is gone. Now let's make it inactive as well simply by commenting out by pressing Ctrl+/. As of now, we have completed the fundamental concepts of console, alert, and prompt. Now we're going to control the UI using JavaScript. Are you excited? Let's get started. For example, let's take H1 as an example and pass hello world and save changes. Now look at the right side. The live server has just shown the hello world heading in the UI of our web page. Now let's target this heading through JavaScript and try to display another text we want. For this, we need to target the element using JavaScript. Let's type const heading as the variable name and assignment operator equals to, and target the element using the document.querySelector, h1, method and terminate with a semicolon as always. For now, don't worry about these methods, we'll cover them in the upcoming lessons in much detail. Only consider it as the method that's used to point to the HTML elements. We can now use the variable name heading to change the text inside the HTML heading element using the innerText method. For now, let's set it to hello JavaScript using an assignment operator and terminate with a semicolon. Save the changes, and the web page has replaced the old heading with the newly set heading hello JavaScript. We now have a basic idea of how the process works. Now let's make our code cleaner and more organized by placing it in the respective files, like how we organize items in our home. Let's create another file by clicking on the file icon and creating a file, index.js. Now cut the JavaScript code, except the surrounding script tags, from index.html, and paste it into the index.js file, but we don't need to wrap it with the script tags. After pasting the code, save it and switch to the index.html file. At this point, our index.html file has no connection with the index.js file. We need to define the source path in the source tag. In the opening script tag, after the script word, give a space then type src and hit enter and within the double quotes simply type the file name index.js and save the changes. Our heading is still hello JavaScript and it confirms that our files are linked to each other. If you try to change the index.js file name to something unknown and save the changes, it soon responds and displays the default heading as set in the HTML heading tags. So always make sure to provide the valid path and file name. We also need to make sure every syntax is complete. If our syntax is invalid, we get the errors right in the code editor. I hope you enjoy the video. If you find something complex, don't overwhelm yourself. It's only the basic part of making you comfortable with Visual Studio Code and project structure. In the upcoming lesson, we'll start everything from scratch. There's no rush. Thanks for watching.